Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
I'm a relationship hacker.
Run up and get touched up, suicide. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail. Run up and get touched up, suicide, that's it. And all of y'all know my style. I excel, then prevail.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ZOWHAT Morning Show back in the building. Hey, yeah, I'm yelling. What you gonna do about it, Doc? We back. Hey, guess what? It's Monday, the 7th of February, 2017. It's Black History Month. Oh, God. We have an ongoing discussion. Today's topic is going to be crazy. I'm not going to reveal it right this second. But discussion that has to happen. You know, but you already know what we're doing. It's Dash Radio, Hot Button Radio. I always like to do a quick tutorial. That tutorial is this. People say, how do I listen to the show? How do I get to the show? How do I participate? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. DashRadio.com. Hey, Frank, when you put up the video, I want you to show exactly what I'm saying. Go to DashRadio.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom. Once you get to the bottom, you're going to see Hot Button Radio. You click on Hot Button Radio, it's going to open up and you'll hear us live. It's the easiest way to get there, all right? That's how you listen to the ZOWHAT Show or the Voice of Reason Show. Very simple instructions. DashRadio.com, scroll all the way down to the bottom. Hit Hot Button Radio, boom, we're live at the prescribed times. Now that that's out the way, you already know what it is. It's the community empowerment segment. This is a segment where we highlight local businesses that may not have the budget to get that national exposure. It's Black History Month. This is how we recycle black dollars, by keeping some money in your pocket by promoting your business where, on a platform where you may not be able to afford that. So with that said, let me promote myself. Hey, I need you to go to my GoFundMe page, www.gofundme.com/ZoWilliams. We're trying to bring about the birth of the VOR network. Kevin tells me to stop using the word trying. He is Broda. I am Zoda. And we're quoting Yoda. So again, we're doing and not trying. We're intending to bring about the birth of the VOR radio network. And if any of these shows have provided you with any insight, motivation, even contemplation, right? Please get over there right now and donate to our campaign. Our goal, and we're already a week into, there's only 3 weeks left of the shortest month of the year, Black History Month. We're already a week into February. So I'm asking you guys, please, 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 let's make a grand impact for Black History Month. We want $25,000 raised in the month of Black History, February. We could do it. We can do it. So I'm going to need you guys to support everything that we're doing. Stay on our team and let's get that going. GoFundMe.com/ZoWilliams. Other businesses that must be supported. TrustedTaxApp.com. All of these businesses have some kind of code, right? ZOWHAT. Type it in. Get that little 15% discount. Trusted Tax is located on the East Coast, but they can do taxes anywhere in the country. So please, please, please go support these brothers. TrustedTaxApp.com. They want to complete. Whose phone? Is it my phone? Jesus. Why would somebody be calling me right now from Wisconsin? I don't know nobody in Wisconsin. God don't like ugly. Anyway, TrustedTaxApp.com. Please, please, please support this black-owned business. Very important that we do that. Power in One Clothing. I love their clothes. I love the message on the gear. Please go to PIOclothing.com and continue to support their movement. Strong brothers, good brothers. They'll travel all over the country to follow prominent and dominant speakers such as, say, Dr. Umar Johnson, and they'll be outside selling their t-shirts. Good guys, very, very nice quality stuff. Not no regular stuff. I mean, really, go support them. They fly. Power in One Clothing. Another group that I really, really love and respect are RBG Tees. They got some really fly gear. You know, they sent me the Nat Turner Gun Club hoodie and t-shirt. Every time I wear that, people be like, damn, where did you get that? Don't wear that to the airport. Don't make that statement in front of TSA. It's just a hoodie. That's how no, don't get pulled over wearing that. No, fly gear though. RBGTs, continue to support them. Minister Tony Muhammad of the Nation of Islam, strong brother, good brother. He has a business called New Republic West. You got to make sure. Let me just get this right. New Republic West. That is his tax business. They did my taxes. I went right down there. They did my taxes and did them quick and saved me bread. Saved me some hella bread. I was like, shit. That's the website, newrepublicwest.com. There it is right there. Who had the camera on me? Was it you? Bring that camera back over here. newrepublicwest.com. Accounting, insurance, lending, credit, the cornerstone of financial literacy, restoration, and empowerment, where taxes, credit, lending, and insurance are custom tailored. Hey, Black-owned businesses, please support. Also, got a small baby deal with my homies. And I don't like none of you motherfuckers because y'all done drank up all of them, and this is the last one. You understand? We had 2 cases of this, and every time I bring them in, I'm bringing them in as a damn prop. The box get lighter and lighter after every show. Next thing you know, I look in my trunk, there's only one. I wasn't drinking these all goddamn. Listen, I don't drink 5-Hour Energy no more because of this. And it works. The moment it worked for Kevin, he came, it should really work.
I drank 2 of those.
It really worked. Next thing you know, last week I had 2 sitting right here. Next thing you know, those 2 gone. I said, Kev, let's just answer my question.
No.
Just answer my question.
What?
Did you steal?
No.
Hold on. Just answer. I had a total package. Did you steal it?
No.
Last week?
No, I did not.
What'd you do? What was
It
that
was
shit
2
was sitting
right there. I took it when it was 2. So whatever one that was left there,
Wait a minute.
I ain't got nothing to
Hold
do
on.
with it.
I didn't say you stole both of them. You just admitted to stealing one. You didn't ask me for that.
Because I thought they were for the group.
Ain't no group.
Anything up there?
It's because of that thought process.
Community property.
That we only got
Community
one of these
property.
left. It's because of that thought process
Dash
that we only got
community
one of these
property.
left. I'm gonna tell you right now, man, this energy package is for real.
I was given the other one for the record. There's a
No,
gift.
you stole the other one.
No, you brought it from me. You even
No, I
said
didn't.
it. You even said it.
I don't bring shit for you.
Let's run back the tape. Let's run it back.
No, I'm just saying, this is real. It actually works. And I know the guy who put it together. I know him. I'm telling you, this is the Qui-Gon Jinn of personal training. I've never seen a dude train people on the lifting weights and strength training and sports training, basketball, football. He's got a gang of pros that he trains. NBA, MLB, NFL, and he trained my kid for free. I got to support this. We got a little deal with him. He's trying to help the VOR Radio Network campaign. He said, look, Zoe, one of these cases is $29. For every case sold, we'll give you $5. So if y'all don't cash mob him, y'all not really trying to see us win either. This is a good product. I support it. And this is the last one, and it's half gone, and none of you
Nothing to do
fuckers
with
can
me.
have any of it. Okay? Let me just put this shit right here.
You put it in your pocket.
Right. You should have, man. It's a real
Yeah,
situation.
you got more in the car.
I don't have any more. Now, I want you guys to go to this other place. These are people who have dropped $200. right? We have a campaign, $200, 4 weeks of promotion for your business. You drop $200 on our GoFundMe campaign, www.gofundme.com/Zoe Williams. Put that site up, Frank, when I mention it. I'll be watching the videos. They don't always pop up when I say something. www.gofundme.com/Zoe Williams. For small businesses who are trying to get some elevated exposure, drop $200. I will support you for 4 weeks. There's a group, this brother, Pan-African Design, right? Designs, plural. Home of the Heru apparel, panafricandesigns.com. Please support this brother's work. He's going to send us some t-shirts so we can rock. A lot of these companies that get this, exposure are t-shirt guys, and I love their work. They send me a couple of garments. I wear them, and people see it, and if they like it, they respond. So this is a good partnership right here. Pan-African Designs, home of the Heru apparel, panafricandesigns.com. Wear the Heru in you. Hey, we got to give them they love. Where the Heru in you? Where the Heru were you? I'm just saying, support these brothers. They doing good business, and I got love for them. What else we got? Hold on. Foreign, I know. Weed juice, I know. I'm gonna get to weed. These my peoples. I'm gonna get to my peoples. ForeignNativeExchange.com. They have products and gear, and support them. I need you guys to support them. They got some fly stuff. I see this Happy Black History Year shirt. I like that. Happy Black History Year. Not Happy Black History Month. Happy Black History Year. And it's only a $20 t-shirt. Why not get one and represent Happy Black History Year? The website again is ForeignNativeExchange.com. I like that. ForeignNativeExchange.com. Weed juice. You already know what it is. Weedjuice.com. Support this brother, my man Hassan. Hassan, what is? Then everybody start putting their hands on juice. Y'all disrespectful. We ain't got no uniformity right now. I'm saying wait until I promote the business before you grab the juice.
I heard you say weed juice.
Weed juice. The reason why everybody is going for it is because it's delicious. Hey man, grab me that Purple Rain before they grab it. Get my Purple Rain. Shit. Get Purple Rain. Strawberry, blackberry, raspberry, beet. Don't play yourself. Delicioso. Weedjuice.com. He'll get it out to you ASAP. He gonna pack it in dry ice and all of that. You gonna get it. You're gonna get it. So I appreciate that. What's up? ZOWHAT is the code on the website. Now, Kevin has started a GoFundMe page called Cop Stop Guardian. Listen, listen. Don't be lazy. I don't like lazy. I told everybody. I said, listen, I'm not going to tell you what this is. I want you to go and research it yourself. I see people complaining. Zoe didn't even explain the Cop Stop Guardian. I'm not going to do your work for you. That's why today's topic is going to be cold-blooded. I'm not going to do your work for you. I tell you to do something, just go do it. It's going to benefit you. I'm not going to tell you no bullshit. Cop Stop Guardian. Great idea that Kevin Berenger conceptualized. In America, there are over 1,000 violent to deadly police encounters with American citizens every year. These encounters wreak havoc on the lives of all the people involved and create an air of fear and distrust between citizens and law enforcement, thereby widening the gap of communication and pathways to a better solution. Well, we at Cop Stop Guardian. You like my little commercial shit? This shit is cold, right? The way just jump right into it. Okay, anyway. Feel that we have found a way to close the gap and bring about a practical, beneficial, and proactive solution. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, this is an app concept. I don't want to tell them anymore. You want to tell them? Why you ask me to tell them then, if you want to tell them?
We can both tell them.
All right, well, why don't you tell them?
We can both tell them.
Hurry up, man. Shit.
So basically, me and some some very smart brothers. We came up with an idea because we were just tired of people getting shot up at police stops. So we figured basically, what if we created a third-party 911 service? That's basically what it is. So Cop Stop Guardian, when you get pulled over by a police officer. Also, we linked up with the person who created Zoe's mobile app.
Wanda Trotter.
Wanda Trotter, Mind Blowing Mobile. So when you get pulled over,
Pull up that website too, Frank, Mind Blowing Mobile. Go ahead.
yeah. So when you get pulled over, you'll touch on this app. It'll immediately connect you to a call center operator, and the operator will come on the phone, speakerphone, and she will begin to talk, or he or she will begin to talk to the police officer. So it's basically a third-party mediator between the driver and the police officer.
Wow.
So because most drivers do not know the law, they get scared when the police officer rolls up, then all of that just turns into shit. So the operator will come on. She'll be versed in civil rights law as well as basic traffic stop law and procedure. She will talk to the officer, immediately calm down the situation, and then allow the officer to do his job. So then there's no tension within the traffic stop.
Wow.
And so also, if something goes down, there's something called the Cop Stop Flash Mob. So immediately when you get pulled over, this Cop Stop Flash Mob signal will go out to people who use the app to mob the traffic stop.
The situation.
To mob the situation. Anybody within a half a mile radius will converge on that traffic stop for immediate support and for other audio, video verification.
Hell
So
yeah, because this is a world star world. And if everybody got that app and see some foul playing going on, it's too many cameras to be like, give me that.
Because police officers today, most police forces, actually all of them, are left to investigate their own traffic stops. So they'll never find themselves guilty. So this will be a third-party accountability service. We're gonna record and keep all the information on cops who are
Website, what is it?
The website is copstopguardian.com, but the GoFundMe, we need you guys to get this app and the call service. So the GoFundMe is GoFundMe/CopStopGuardian. We need your support.
I can smoke a bag of that.
There's nothing out there like this today, and so we're trying to be the first to get this out here, so help us out.
You saying trying? Okay, cool.
Excuse me. All right. But I know the words, so I'm transmuting. Mental transmutation, partner.
Doc, do you have anything to promote? Steve?
I like what you were talking about. So I'm here to promote POP Protocol, popprotocol.org, and the Sheriff's Department reached out to us. So this is a black started organization that trains civilians and law enforcement what to do at a traffic stop. And so the tagline is saving lives one stop at a time. But what's really interesting is the trainers, and I think we're going to be doing it at the Challenger Boys and Girls Club in South LA. What happens is it builds community because, not all cops are bad. And what happens is it gets heightened at a traffic stop. People shoot from the hip and people get shot. So the Sheriff's Department reached out to us, and we're going to hopefully be doing some pilot trainings with us.
Wow. If you shoot from the hip, you're going to get shot. Okay. I like that. Steve?
Yes, I would like to promote my new music.
The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer, of course. That's my latest release on Motel Music Media, available on iTunes, Amazon, and all that good stuff. And also my radio show, The Heart of R&B, on
Out of Boston.
ZBR, the base of Boston.
Cold-blooded.
Every day from 11 to 1 West Coast time, 2 to 4 East Coast time.
Fly.
Get that Tune In app and tune in, please.
There it is. Yes. Hey, it's about to go down. The ZOWHAT Morning Show. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, geez, this topic ugly as hell right now. I got to do it, goddammit. Wait a minute. 2 more things to promote. My homeboy, Craig Hodges, another guy who trained my son, Long Shot. Oh, man, if you guys, his documentary about how he got blackballed.
Yeah.
Please get this book. Please get this book. Also, for a few months now, my website has been acting funny because, what is that? GoDaddy? GoDaddy, my ex-manager paid for our domain name. Yeah. But the site is hosted somewhere else, so it was a conflict. So every time somebody pulled up my website, it looked like it was down, unless you used a different browser.
Right.
We handled that, so my book sales went down dramatically. Listen, get you a copy of The Relationship Dismount: How to Stick the Landing When Exiting a Toxic Relationship. Even if you're in a good relationship, trust me, the tools in this book will help a good relationship maintain during the difficult times. Don't try to go to the grocery store during the motherfucking thunderstorm. Go there, stock up before the storm comes. That's what this book is about. It's relationship preventative medicine. Trust me, the number one killer of relationship is the lack of conflict resolution tools. Not money, not sex, not communication. Well, communication is conflict resolution, but it's in here. Get it now. Read it while shit is good. Trust me, it'll help you later. IamZoeWilliams.com is where you get your copies. Thank you so much. When we return, today's topic, crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, DJ Julian Ramirez with the geriatric mix for old people.
The geriatric.
From the 90s. I love it though. Fire. Follow DJ Julian Ramirez at DJ Julian Ramirez on Twitter. I think it's the same for, it's everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. DJ Julian Ramirez. Please support him. And if you need him to DJ an event, that's how you get at him. At DJ Julian Ramirez. You just gonna... Hey, everybody be like, Steve be talking over people.
That's country, man. I'm sorry.
Steve is the dude, though.
God, I love Steve's voice. Ugh.
Hey, no, man, seriously, we got a serious topic here today, and I want Dr. G to set us up. Talk to us, Doc, about secret societies and the hoarding of higher knowledge.
So I think you're going to like this.
Loaded.
The reason secret societies are always dangerous is whenever you have people who live in fear, they will flock together to turn the fear into anger so they can then retaliate against others outside them, and they will then instigate fear in the others around them. And so as long as you have people who have fear, they will come together to do this. And that's why it's a deadly cycle, but people who live in fear would much rather become angry than angry. It feels better to go from fear to anger to rage than from fear to panic.
Say more.
And so fearful people come together, and then there's the power of the herd. And the power of the herd also keeps you from seeing reality objectively, but you feel empowered by that. And then together you can then retaliate against the people outside you, and then you trigger fear in them. So you get this escalation of fearful secret groups or subgroups fighting each other. And I wrote a book on listening, and the first thing that goes out is the capacity or willingness to listen to each other. I mean, nobody listens to each other because they're too busy reacting, and that's why secret societies are always bad.
Wow. Here we go. Today's topic. Let me set it up real quick. Yikes. We had to do it. It was important that we did it. Today's topic, an investigation into the ancient mystery schools. A deeper look at the origins of secret societies, masonry, and the hidden knowledge of self-mastery. Oh.
A little esoteric.
This shit about to be crazy.
I love it.
You know I got questions. Questions that are important that need to be asked.
Yeah.
How long? Oh God. How long has the aspiring student, how long does he have to wait before entrance was granted into the mystery schools of ancient Kemet? Was there a time limit? You couldn't just fill out an application and fall into a mystery school in ancient times, right? It didn't matter what status you were at, right?
You had to be of age, though.
You had to be of age, right?
Yeshua HaMashiach was probably the youngest.
Okay, hold on, Steve. Let me set it up first before Steve is ready to take off from the free throw line with a blindfold on. Here we go. What does it mean to stand on your square? Is the KKK a Masonic organization? Is it a secret society? Why is the KKK's holy book called the Quran? Sounds a lot like the Quran, but they're a Christian group. Are Christian groups Masonic groups? Why do we wear a type of fez when we graduate? I don't answer yet. I'm gonna set it up. How are the Illuminati and Freemasons related, if at all? Are the Moors race traitors? If so, what actions led them to do such a thing? Did the Moors teach Caucasians Masonry? Who did the Moors inherit it from? Oh God, these questions. True or false? The Black Fez is the highest degree. It represents the highest degree of what? Oh God. What does the Tassel mean? This is going to be crazy. Is Masonry a cult? Is it devil worship? Ooh. Oh God. Ooh. It's time to get busy. We had to ask these questions.
Let's do it.
We want to know an investigation into the ancient mystery system. We got Steve Russell from Troop on deck. We've got Kevin Battinger of the Battingers, the Highland Battingers. Lord Battinger, we should muster the Rohirrim on this one.
Thank you, Lord Williams.
Indeed, sir. And then we have Lord Diversity, Dr. G.
Lord Diversity.
He will speak. So we want to know, what is the purpose of a mystery school? And once you get the mystery, are you sworn to secrecy? Why secrecy? Are they trying to keep everybody from having this knowledge? Is this the real classism? Oh, God. Steve, you've been itching to jump in, so now he don't want to talk. There you go, Steve.
Oh, man. I don't know where to start. There's a lot of good questions. I do want to address the doc on the fear and the gathering of people. In order to have a society, you have to create an enemy image. Ooh. So the enemy image, secret societies are outweighed when it comes to creating a fear factor for the people. That's done to even create a society. You have to have a Al-Qaeda.
Yeah.
You have to have a boogeyman.
Yeah.
I just wanted to address that. Anyway, what's the first question on Freemasonry?
I'm gonna ask you: is it devil worship? Let's just get it. Let's get it right.
I mean,
out
that causes other questions. We have to find out who the devil is,
right? But let's just: is it devil worship? Because you got a lot of Christian people out there that when they hear Masonry or Mason or Masonics, because a lot of their pastors are Masons.
Yeah,
a lot of the symbology in the stained glass window.
Strange question.
Yeah, so we have to answer that because of Albert Pike.
Well, yeah. Well, Albert Pike, he was he was a very racist, upstanding Mason man. He didn't believe in any other race being a part of the brotherhood. He was totally against that. Said he would die before he had obligations to.
Wasn't he the one who created the Blue Lodge for blacks? Prince Hall. We're gonna get into it all. Shit.
Well, first of all, the Freemasonry is one of the oldest non-religious, non-political, fraternal, charitable organizations based on each man building himself with the character worthy of becoming a Mason.
So, yeah, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
Kevin, you got the information on this already? No, this is going to be good. Keep going.
Well, we just need to get into the history of it. So
Yeah.
in order to understand what it is. And
That's why you're here.
in order for most melanated people actually to know what's going on today, you need to understand how secret societies were created and how they move throughout the world today. So Freemasonry was created back in the day to civilize the ancient or the barbaric tribes that ran throughout Europe. So you're talking about the Goths, the Ostrogoths and Visigoths, which just means Eastern and Western Goths, the Vandals, and all these different peoples who were running amok at that time. So at that time, though, you had the Islamic conquest. So we're just going to pick it up from there. So around the Islamic conquest, which started with Muhammad around 632, so you had them basically conquering that region.
Wait, let me stop you 1 second. Isn't it actually older than that?
Yes,
Or you just picking up
much
at
older.
that?
I'm picking
at that time.
I'm picking up at that time. So,
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
The origins are in Africa.
Yeah,
Yes.
the origins here are, well, when we get into what they teach, then you'll see what the history of it is.
Right.
But the modern history of it, where Caucasian people jump in, is where the Moors. So it's ancient.
Yes.
It's ancient Kemetan science. So they had been working this for thousands of years, and then.
Yes.
When you had these barbaric tribes who, the ancient European nomadic tribes, when they were snatching them up and placing them in slavery, as well as they were running them up and just ripping everything up around the countryside. So, but the Moors used to raid places and take up these Christian slaves and put them in their armies. So when they put them in the armies, they had to teach them a way to be within the army. So once they were assimilated into the army, they were called Mamluks. And so Mamluk.
Look up the word. Must spell that.
Mamluk. Mamluk.
Like yes, ma'am. Mamluk.
Yes. I mean, it's spelled different
and
ways.
Luke.
Yeah, it's the Mameluke, and this is where you get the Italian saying Mameluke and all of that type of stuff. So it comes from the Mamluks, and the Mamluks were the slave class of the Islamic Empire or the Moorish Empire, and they basically used them when they did any of their wars back in the day. So whenever you hear like the Moors conquered this and the Moors conquered that, those armies were actually mostly Mamluk armies. So it was a way of basically civilizing them, because they were very savage type of people. They didn't understand how to work around people, how to be. So they had to civilize them at first with basic principles. They only taught them basic principles, how to read.
The dogs and the animals outside, not in the house.
You guys are offending.
I'm not doing. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, look, this is just how it was. And that in those times, like even in the Middle Ages, you had the monarchy in the Middle Ages. They lived with animals within their houses. Like this is where you get chicken pox. The chickens would run around literally in what they called the living room at that time. So Freemasonry came up as a way. So Mason actually means mother son or my son. So it was a way literally to teach the descendants of the Moors how to be and how to live without in the modern world at that time.
So why do the modern history books say Masonry starts as an origin point in Great Britain?
Because
the Mother Lodge.
Well, because certain people you have to attach yourself to something that's real in order to give yourself validity.
Ooh, I like it. So say more.
You find a science. You adapt the science to your culture, and you become the origin of it for your culture. Only the people who don't look will not see that the origins are past the European.
It's also, and they also say it's created there because you have two different factions of the Masonry. You have the Scottish Rite and the York Rite. So York is, York, England. And so that's supposedly the oldest part of Freemasonry. So Masonry was, at first, it was just builders. Okay, so it goes back. So the York Rite is more of a religious rite. So it goes back to the building of the Tower of Babel, or the building of Solomon's temple. And so this is where you get the builders that come out of that from.
So you're touching on something that I think we could drill down on just a little bit more, and then hold your point, because I want to come right back to you after I say that. What Kevin is talking about is two different branches. You got speculative masonry and operative masonry,
which is physical.
So that's the operative masonry is somebody placing bricks.
That's physical.
That's a builder of castles and houses and pyramids and
setting the cornerstone.
Exactly. That is an operative masonry.
Yeah. Speculative.
Now, speculative is psychological, philosophical.
It's human architecture.
Exactly. So understand that with the philosophy and the symbology, understanding the symbols, you are to use the symbols of an operative mason to build yourself.
To build your life, right? Yourself.
So this is why the pyramid is so prominent because the pyramid is considered the most perfect structure ever.
Or the square. Right.
And that's the square. And you are your own square, and you are your own great pyramid, and you have to be the architect that, with the same level of precision, you know what I'm saying, build up yourself and take out all of the flaws because people see that as a perfect structure.
Exactly.
So you're the perfect structure. You
Right.
have to build you.
Yeah,
That's what
garner your
speculative.
actions by the square.
Right.
Yes.
So go ahead.
And so being that the operative masonry was the biggest occupation at the time. So, and also Masons were the only people who could go from kingdom to kingdom without being checked. So they were called travelers. And so when you showed up into a place and you said that you were a Mason, you said you were a Mason, they had, different guilds of Masons within different kingdoms. And so you were immediately just accepted right in. They would place you up, put you up, give you food and shelter and all this and that. So this is
why you saying some other important shit that I got. Every time you enter a city, whether it's Pasadena, whether it's Compton, whether it's whatever, you'll see them with their symbol saying, welcome to the city.
Yes.
And you'll see Masonic symbols saying, hey, brothers, we got lodges over here for y'all to get resources and, fellowship and whatever.
Man,
Speak on it.
Oh, yeah. And most operative Masons back in the day started at the age of 10 through 15
as an apprentice.
Yes,
that's one of the degrees.
One of the degrees, entered apprentice.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And so you had the power elite at the time who wanted to be able to move like that freely. So they were working. They were dealing in what they called alternative information because you had Christianity.
Alternative facts.
Trump. So they were dealing in what was called alternative information, and which stuff that they couldn't speak openly on. You had Christianity, and if anything varied from Christianity, you would be ostracized. So they had to find a way to be able to practice this information. So a few of them, they basically just took over the Freemasonic organization or the Mason organization, and it became Freemasons because Masons were able to be free and move freely throughout the land. And so throughout time, they just literally moved out the operative Masons, and then they just took it over. It became all pretty much speculative Masonry.
Yeah.
And that's how you get the modern stuff today.
Yeah.
So what about the Illuminati and evil and the end of the world?
Well, you start with the word and what the word means.
How about it?
The best way to get past any of the fantasy of the evil and the spooks and all that stuff is you start with the word illuminated. It means light. It means enlightened. It means knowledge. So it immediately means knowing something that most people don't know.
This is
period. And you can speculate on so many different secrets, knowing this, but to be honest with you, it all boils down to each person knowing that it's them, that their creator lies, that it's inside where your light must shine. It's the inside that you must recognize in order to be illuminated, to be a light body.
But wait a minute.
That's the secret behind all of what we're getting ready to talk about.
But wait a minute. This is crazy right now. Most of the presidents were Mason.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Most of them were Masons.
Sure.
And they done fucked over people.
Sure.
Masons, 3/4 of the human being. We talking about freedom and inalienable rights. We all Masons, but we see them as animals, and we're taking the land from these motherfuckers. Isn't Masonry about higher principles of morality?
I don't think it's Masonry itself that creates the character of the man. The man is supposed to conduct itself by the structure and symbolism of Masonry, but you get those who pervert everything that they come in contact with.
Ooh, say more.
Perversion, what you're speaking on is a perversion.
You mean like the perversion of Christianity and all
like
other
the
religions
perversion
today?
of any religion, like the perversion of any craft, like the perversion of any information that has come across a certain species of human that has existed. It has been perverted, and what you're speaking on is the perverted aspect of these perverted men claiming Masonry.
Right. It kind of got that way because of exclusion. So when the Moors, when they were teaching, these what they call Christian slaves who became the Mamluks, there was only a certain point that they could learn or they can go to within the Sultanate, and until it got taken over. So you have many Mamluk dynasties and one Mamluk Sultanate, and so that the major Mamluk dynasty or Sultanate it ran Egypt for like almost 300 years. And so this is actually probably the main one that they link up to. So when you see these different organizations, like within Masonry, there's something called the Shriners.
Yes.
And so the Shriners are, I'm sure you've probably seen them on TV with the Shriners Hospital.
Hospital.
And they wear the fezzes or in the parades, they roll around.
Fez is a city in Morocco.
Exactly.
Let's just.
That's where it originated. Yes.
And they roll around on the little funny cars in the parades, but I mean they're a very esoteric, deep organization.
Yes.
So the Shriners basically are paying homage to the Mamluk Sultanate. So they understand that they used to rule and many times throughout history, but we don't understand that. But they know who they were. They know they were Mamluks and they used to rule, and it was passed over. And just to let you know, like, so the 2 times. So January 1st, 1492 was the day the Moors handed over power in Spain. So that's when it became
Queen Isabella and Ferdinand.
Queen Isabella and Ferdinand. So now what's the new year?
Wait, tell them the story. Queen Isabella and Ferdinand had to dress in the garb of the Moors on bended knee in order to get the keys to the city.
Yes, to the city.
1492.
And it was
that.
January 1st, 1492, which is why the new year is January 1st.
Wow.
Now, as well, when the Mamluks, the last time the Mamluks lost power is when they lost power to the Ottoman Empire. Guess what day that happened? January 20th.
Say more.
1517.
Say more. Give them the knowledge.
What happens on January 20th? That's the inauguration day.
Exactly.
That's when they transfer power.
Yes.
These are all symbolic of when they used to rule.
Wow.
So they know who they are. You don't know who they are. And also the reason
That's why
is
you can call them a loom.
So let's go back to that point. When you graduate from high school and you go back to visit high school, college, whatever, you're an alumni, right? Buddha, the illuminated one. Christ, the morning star. Lucifer, the morning star.
The bearer of light.
The female Mason. She can't be a Mason, but she can be a morning star. So, okay, so you need to understand.
It's all about light.
The light is intelligence. We're going to deal with that later. We're going to cover that later.
The word demon means intelligence.
Ooh. Well, it depends on what culture you're fucking with.
Right.
If you're going to go Hindu, you got the devas, right? Where we get the word diva. That's a god.
Yep.
But if you go Zoroastrian, devas are demons.
And Diva's actually a male god too.
Hey, we'll be back. The voice of reason, Zoe Williams on the ZOWHAT Morning Show. It's turned up. Secret societies. What does all this information mean? When we come back, we're going to the phone lines. DJ Julian Ramirez. Let's get active. We'll be back at 2.2. Ladies and gentlemen, the ZOWHAT Morning Show is back in the building. We're having a very interesting conversation. I mean, it's interesting. An investigation into the ancient mystery schools. What are the mystery schools? What was the purpose of the mystery schools? A deeper look at the origins of secret societies, masonry, and the hidden knowledge of self-mastery.
Yeah.
Why would somebody hide the knowledge of self-mastery
Because-
from the masses? Why would they do that?
There's
Unlimited power!
there's a lot of money and benefit to be gained by the masses not knowing that they yield power.
Wow.
The knowledge of self is dangerous to those who are in power because they have knowledge of self.
Wow.
Also,
So you mean to tell me the evil motherfuckers took the light, which is the flame, the thing that burns, and they said, you know what? We're going to keep this to ourselves. We're going to keep it from these people. We're going to use these people as social batteries to power what it is we need to get done. We're going to keep them in the dark.
Yeah.
Speak on that.
Well, just to play devil's advocate, it's more like since they don't know.
Ignorance is no excuse of the law. That's what the judge will say.
Since they only understand the law of gravity.
Wow.
If that's the only law you understand, then hey, we'll accept that and we'll use the other laws for our benefit while you learn that there's more than one universal law.
And if you never learn it, fuck you.
Then so be it.
Well,
And
European-
Yeshua HaMashiach says the multitudes will not make it.
But Europeans going
To
through
that
their
thing.
own, through their own dark ages, they understood the power of lack of information.
Yes,
Because
they did.
For 500 years, when the Moors ruled the Mediterranean, no information got into the mainlands in Europe. So
Well, before that, there was
I'm just talking about the dark age, that period of the dark ages where it really
Right.
went in Europe.
What they call the classics were lost. And the classics for Europe was Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. All of that information was lost.
all educated by the Egyptians.
But it was the Moor who came back into Europe and re-educated Europeans
Re-civilized.
on their shit.
Yes.
There was the Moorish doctor Averroes, who actually took those works and re-edited them and fixed the flaws in it. Like, this is bullshit. Let's clean this up.
Exactly.
Right. And then gave it back to Europe. You guys have forgotten about this. You need this in order to fucking function. Dr. G, don't think we forgot about your ass. Because there were Jews
Yes.
in Spain at that time, right? There were Jewish people there too. You guys have secret societies like the B'nai B'rith. Don't act like you don't know, Doc. We're going to call you out on this shit. Share your secrets, Doctor.
No, I'm gonna revert to what I know because I don't know a lot of what you're talking about, but I'm learning from each other. No, really, I'm not a historian like that, but I do go back to this whole idea. There's several words that were really charged for me when I listened, which was illumination, and you mentioned something about perverting the meaning of things.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think, is perverting something the same as corrupting something?
Exactly
Maybe.
the same.
And what fuels the need to pervert or corrupt something? And recently I've been writing about leadership.
Yeah.
And there's a notion I have, and see if you can adapt this to what you're saying about old-time leaders or present leaders. There's a notion called fearful aggression. And when you think, and what that means is too many people, too many leaders lead out of fear that they turn into aggression.
Yeah.
And there's a whole push towards something called conscious leadership versus unconscious leadership. Unconscious leadership is reacting. It's the animal in you. Conscious is being able to pause and think.
Can be on purpose.
That's right. And when I think of leaders, I'm sorry for the tangent, but bring it back.
No, this is good.
It's on my mind.
Go ahead.
When I think of leaders, I also look into people's eyes and try and see what's coming from behind it. So tell me if you agree with this. When I look into Putin's eyes, what I see is the fear of being discovered that he doesn't care about anyone but power and accumulating that in pride. When I look into the eyes of Trump, I see the fear of someone who says, I'm in over my head and I'm going to keep people spinning, and I have these key advisors and I hope they know what to do better than I do. When I look into the eyes of Angela Merkel, I'm kind of a fan of hers because she seems like a conscious leader. I mean, when I look in her eyes, she looks like someone who is trying to understand and comprehend before she uses her leadership. So I'm just throwing that out there because these are very troubling times when you think of the leaders who are running the show. And if they're running from fear, turning into anger and perverting and corrupting whatever they need to keep from being found out, and also to be able to keep their power by keeping other people more fearful than them under their aegis. So I'm just throwing that out there and take it anywhere.
But that's what it is. It's social engineering. It's social engineering. That's what you're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Let me do this real quick, and I'm gonna throw it back to you, Steve. California African American Museum. David Banner this Wednesday. Zoe Williams opens for David Banner.
Oh, wow.
Activism in post-Obama America. Wednesday, February 8th, 2017, 7 to 9 p.m. Zoe Williams is going to be there and open for David Banner.
How nice.
If you're in LA, come see us. California African American Museum. We will be there. We will be there. Activism now, after Obama leaves office. Zoe Williams, David Banner teamed up we're going to smack you in the mouth.
Yes.
You ain't going to like it, but it's going to be what it is. Wednesday, February 8th, 2017.
Nice.
Steve.
Well, I was just gonna say, from a certain position in society, when you look into the eyes of leaders, and it's like a German Shepherd, a Poodle, a Doberman, they're all dogs.
Oh yeah.
So from a certain point in society, you look and see the same face. It doesn't matter what package it comes in, it's the same. That's why self-knowledge is the most important.
Oh, no, this is great. This is, damn.
Yeah, say more about that.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all really recognize. Listen, if I can keep you outside yourself,
If I can take God from you,
all of
if
this,
I can put God somewhere that you ain't, how about that?
go there.
The removing of God, the perception that God is outside of
Keep
you
going.
is the perception that keep you deaf, dumb, and blind. You know how the Nation of Islam back in the day said the average black American was deaf, dumb, and blind? That's what it was based on, the lack of knowledge of self. Most of us have no idea what life consists of. We're busy trying to figure out the names and the ins and outs of religious things that were that you digested before you could understand it, which makes the struggle to find self even harder, which makes the responsibility of self even more difficult to obtain.
Now watch this. Because you've been socialized and programmed to behave and think and view this way,
yes,
now, whatever your religious belief is, it becomes
your reality.
It becomes the life raft.
Yes.
I don't have time to break down the words. I don't have time to know what it really means.
Right.
All I know is this shit right here makes me feel good in the moment I feel bad. This external thing right here, don't take that. I need this.
We got you.
So now you're locked away, sequestered from your real power.
On to the next.
Now you're on autopilot. Fear as your guide.
And
Fear as your co-pilot.
And we're gonna get you to teach it to your offspring, to get them to teach it to their offspring, so that we have you for another 1,000 years teaching the same bullshit over and over and over.
The same psychological prison.
Yes, over and over again.
Dr. G didn't answer my question about B'nai B'rith. Kevin, could you explain who the fuck they are? Go deeper.
He's funny.
He thought I didn't see that.
The B'nai B'rith is the secret society for the Jews, and it kind of underlies everything that's going on right now. That's why you don't actually know about them.
Yeah.
The one who stays the most hidden is probably the one that's doing the most shit.
Oh yeah.
And so I actually found out about them about 10 years ago, and I actually went there. So they have an office in DC. So I went actually a museum. They have a B'nai B'rith museum in DC.
So does the CFR.
They do.
Yeah.
But when I went there, they had seen no brother come up in there before, because I walked straight to the desk. And the lady looked. She was like, "Yeah, can I help you?"
Like you were from
And I was
Mars.
like, "Yeah, I came to see the museum."
But what is the purpose of it? What do they do?
You mean
The B'nai B'rith.
Oh.
Well, I mean, they do pretty much what every other secret society do. They hold the secret. They keep the lie going about.
Yes.
They keep the whole lie going.
Propaganda machine.
It's all about the propaganda machine. Now, if you're talking
But what
about
kind of information do they have?
It's misinformation.
That's why I'm throwing it to y'all.
No, go ahead. Go what you're saying. I'm gonna go off what you're saying.
It's the misinformation that you get out of these organizations. Like the CFR is the Council on Foreign Relations, and it has very little to do with that, and more to do with the fraternalizing the heads of society to one brotherhood, to one boys club, so that they dominate all of media, all of music, all of everything that is given to the audience is through these elite organizations like the Trilateral, the Bilderbergs, and all of those.
Yeah, they're all interlinked in order to keep the bullshit going.
Yes, it's a way.
But what do you think fuels the need to keep the bullshit of the lie going? So is it always
time.
fear, or is it, what is it?
It's fear and time, because those who are in power, you got to realize, those who are in
Good
power,
question, Doc.
the time their time is limited. Even if it's 1,000 years, that's a limited amount of time to rule something.
This
right?
whole thing is predicated on the fact that melanated people don't find out who you are.
Yes.
Because melanated people literally were running the world forever, like literally until like a couple hundred years ago, if not even soon later than that.
Yes.
So the whole thing is we can't let them figure out who they used to be. If they figure it out, then
Who they used to be.
This is why all the no's. This is why all of the stuff is misinformed from Egyptologists. This is why you have to double back on the Egyptologists and do your own studying.
Let me just say this. I'm sorry. Finish that thought. Go ahead.
You just have to do due diligence in your study to find out who you really were, and not based on a certain perception. You have to really do due diligence in your research.
And then let me just follow you up on that. A couple of things. Egypt ain't the only society in Africa that had high level spiritual knowledge. So this is how you know
Sumerians.
Our people are lost, because we're not connected to all of the cultures that had the same knowledge that were started by us.
Yeah. Kush.
That's Kush, Timbuktu,
Phoenician.
Mali, the
Phoenicians.
Dogon.
Yes.
Like
The Dogon.
All
Come
that
on.
is us, right? So now watch this.
Yes.
You don't have the knowledge. And if we ever let you get the knowledge, you're going to find out who you really are. You're going to become internal beings instead of external beings.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is demonize anything that is inner.
You. That is you.
But you are, it's inner.
Or
esoteric has to become the exoteric practice, as opposed to the esoteric, the inner awareness.
Or create a myth out of you, like the dragon and the phoenix. This is where we go back to that. So the phoenix,
or
you
that
go back
black
to
is bad.
The ancient Phoenicians. You guys really need to study the Canaanite Phoenicians.
Okay, look, wait. You gonna hold that?
Yes.
We gonna get that Canaanite Phoenicians. We gonna get Sumer. We gonna get all that. But the phone lines is cracking. Let's go to line 5 right now. This is a good friend right here. Line 5. Hello, you're on the ZOWHAT show. We can't hear him.
Peace.
Hey, what up, famo? Who is this?
What's the word? This is Rami Salamel. Also known as Cliff Solo. What's going on with you?
Oh, you the brother that was on, that did the YouTube video. I asked you to do an informative YouTube video, right?
The bucket hat nigga.
The bucket hat. What up, pimp? Listen, hey, man. Let me just say this, man. I don't speak for no other man, and I don't justify anything anybody got to say. Corey Holcomb is my day 100 homie, and I'm gonna tell you, this is what I can speak on. That motherfucker got a great heart. Like if you know him, that's a good motherfucker, and he's a man of his word. He's a good motherfucker. With that said, this is why I said let me do this show, because to me, it's just a lack of information. So let's get the information out there so it's people can understand what it actually means. Like, I love my brother and I got his back. And he's the type of brother that if you come at him and you give him some information on the low, he'll watch it. He'll listen. He'll study. You know, he'll get into it. He's a good dude.
His album.
That's right. I hooked y'all two up, right?
Let me interject for just a second and say, to add on to that I seen that in him. And that's the reason why I made the video to that brother, is because I see that that's a real brother. I see the love in that brother. You know what I mean? Pastor, I get the jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all do what we do. But I can see in his eyes that's a real one. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't want anyone else to get it misconstrued that I have hate for him or that I'm taking the joke seriously, because I love that brother. I love y'all brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I get, you know what I mean? I get what it is. You know what I'm saying? The real ones, we see what it is.
Right.
So I just wanted to put that out there first, just because I know it's like people want to make it this, black versus Moors thing, but we got to get out of that mentality, because we the same people.
Right.
Regardless of the information that we have.
Yeah. Beautiful. Listen. Yeah. I need you to just deal with this, because there are a lot of people out there, Pan-Africanists, and there are a lot of people out there, and we just got to be honest, man. Are the Moors race traitors because of their involvement? we just got to deal with that because of their involvement in the slave trade. We just got to deal with it.
There was
Let's
so
talk
many
about it.
people involved with the
Absolutely.
slave trade. So many
Well,
people.
I would say first we should define what race traders mean. But
Yes.
let's just go on.
That's
the
for you.
idea of what we think what race traders is.
Please.
Yeah, Moors are race traders. We have Moors selling dope to our people. We
Yes.
have Moors pimping our people.
Yeah.
We have Moors killing our people
Yeah.
for the European.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and I'm not talking about the 700s. I'm not talking about ancient Moors. I'm talking about right now, 2017. We got Moors, so-called black people, killing other Moors
Right.
for the European, whether
Right.
they realize it or not. So yes, we've been quote unquote race traders then and now.
Wow.
If that's what you're talking about.
I love that. Hey, I
You know what I'm
love
saying?
that.
If we being real with ourselves, we have some brothers that do some things that are not good, and we have some brothers that do some things that are good. We can't escape this. You know what I'm saying? Back in history, the same shit. It's the same shit going on over and over and over again. You know what I mean? You can try to pinpoint and pick out and say the Moors were the race traders, blah blah blah. That's foolish to really think that an entire nation of people was absolutely evil and quote unquote traitors to their race.
And just
You know what I'm
because
saying? Like,
you saying something heavy, and I always say this, just because the Moors were race traders, still doesn't invalidate the knowledge and the history that they participate, that they created. Because you know what happened to us is we'll throw everything out with the bathwater. We'll throw the baby, we'll throw the soap, the wash rag, everything going out.
Listen, forget you talk about the Moors being race traders, man. There was a creator God who said, "We will destroy all humans from the face of the earth."
That's life trader
You
right there.
understand?
I'm getting all you motherfuckers
Do you
up out of here.
understand?
Go ahead.
You understand? So we can't get so caught up in. We have to understand what life is before we can get into the judgmental areas of this thing. Because when you get to the essence of what life really is, each individual creator chose his human existence. Wow. It is not by chance. It is not. To you, you might see the starving baby and say, oh, how could God do that to the starving baby? But you don't know what that entity's past life exists of. He could have been a king in a past life and needed to live a different existence in the opposite in order to get the expansion needed as a consciousness. Wow. You get it?
Wow.
Life is much bigger than what we perceive it to be. We are the creators of our own reality. Period.
Message.
They're not ready. They're not ready. Listen, I keep telling y'all the word government means limiter.
Well, it means that you're not governing yourself.
It means you're not self-governing.
Hey.
So if we can control that aspect of you, you're not operating from a space of knowledge itself, self-mastery.
But self-mastery only comes when you start to realize that dreams are not dreams. When you start to realize that you are traveling somewhere when you wake up in the morning, you just came back from somewhere. It's real, it's not fake. All of this is a part of you getting in tune with the higher self, knowing what life really is.
So Brother Solo, I'm gonna throw it to you real quick. Just give me, man, a quick breakdown of the meaning of the Fez. What does it mean? The purpose of it, because a lot of people just need to know.
That's another thing I wanted to put out there, is that I don't have all the answers. I'm not one to claim that I am this, ultra super knowledgeable brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm a regular cat. I read, you know what I'm saying? I started reading for myself, wanting to learn things for myself, and I just read different information. You know what I mean? And the things that I can validate and verify in other sources, I take that as some truth, unless something else pushes that out the way. Then I'll move on to that. So with that being said, to me, from my understanding, a Fez is just our crown. It's just a crown for African, quote unquote, African melanated people. Just like any other, it's various different crowns that we've had in different cultures. A Fez is just one. Yeah. I mean, we wear it today with beanies or skull caps. You know what I'm saying? We don't realize that that's just another version, or a fitted cap. Or, you know what I mean? Like, all of these are just different versions, or the graduate, the graduate cap that you wear when you graduate. You guys were speaking on earlier.
The mortar board.
The mortar board.
Yeah, the mortar board. Exactly. It's just different versions of the same image. The same symbol. The same the same meaning of the Fez rather, or the crown. It's just different cultures. That's the way I see it.
Wow.
You know what I mean? You can get caught up in the Freemasonry and blah, 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 but I mean, at the end of the day, that's how I see it, and that's the reason why I wear it.
Wow.
And sometimes why I don't wear it. It's so also that we don't get caught up in the symbol of it and realize the deeper meaning. It's really about what you know within you.
That's
how
man.
you conduct yourself.
Hey, man.
Not just the symbol.
Your character.
Hey, Solo, let me just say this, man. Anytime you want to call into the show, man,
Oh, yeah.
we appreciate the knowledge, the information, and the sincerity that you present. Thank you so much for calling, man. And I'm glad you were able to make some videos and break some things down. We appreciate that, bro. Okay?
Yeah. Keep it
If I could say one thing,
Yeah.
I heard you guys speaking about knowledge of self,
Mhm.
and this is one of the reasons why I push, us being Moors and study.
Oh, shit. We lost him. Damn it, Bobby. We lost him. Hey, we got another caller, though, so we got to move on. We got another caller from Sacramento. Good homeboy who set up a lecture for me up there in Sacramento. Good brother right here. I met him up there at a lecture in Sacramento. This dude is a principal. I think he's a principal and a teacher, or one or the other. His brother is the principal. He's the teacher, but they teach at a school, and the other one is a... Yo, speak on it, man. You call? Is he on the line right now? Is he live?
I'm here.
Hey, what's happening, family?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
I'm good,
Thank you
man.
for having me.
Nah, thank you for being here, man.
Yeah, you guys are saying so much, and just like the brother previous, I'm nobody special. I'm just a young buck, I call myself a baby more, and I just have a couple of things. One thing I'd like to share is I think we need to look at who Prince Hall was. He was an African American, quote unquote, and he was an abolitionist in Boston who created the Prince Hall Masonry in the African Grand Lodge in North America. And I think that's something he overlooks. But I really want to say one thing, and one thing is about Corey and what you were talking about. At some point, I'm always wondering, because I'm a middle school teacher and I've been an administrator as well. I see a lot of people who continue to make fun of things they don't understand, and I know he's a good brother. You can see it in his heart. At some point, it just seems as a collective conscious, we are going to have to. There's going to draw. I have middle school kids, and I see their behavior acting a lot like comedians and other stuff. They're imitating the art. And I think as a people, we're going to have to stop. We're going to have to kind of respect our own culture and ancestors, and we're going to have to get off this whole idea of race, because race doesn't exist. And if we continue to use that terminology, we're still playing into their sciences and so forth, which goes back to Fezes, go back to ancient Babylon. The term Moors, and you can find it in ancient Egypt. And these things.
No. Wait, bro. Wait, when you say more you can find in ancient Egypt, you just can't say that and roll past it. What is it?
Oh, you can't?
Yeah, no, you got to give me the root of it and how is it presented in ancient, so people can go and research it, because that's a heavy jewel. Where in ancient Egypt, in what context? Share that with us. That's knowledge.
I'd be glad to. Peace and love to Kevin over there as well, and my aunt over there.
What's up, bro?
And I would want to say that you can find, as Kevin already broke down, you guys have already broke down, that vowels, not because they were non-existent, but they were, controlled by the consonant that they were with, is what we can speculate. And if you look in some of the Metameter dictionaries, you can find MR in there, and you will see that Mer-Per is the name of a pyramid. Mer could be a governor. It's a title. So as we advanced in society, and I guess people got light-skinned or whatever, the term ended up connotating skin tone. And the research that you could look up is Dr. Alim Bey, and he breaks it down to an irrefutable case, because I've been on many debates with this using his material. And he shows you that through time you can even see that the word more, it has to do with the title and authority and the position as a priest. and you look up Dr. Alimbe, and I'm just going to drop that jewel to jump over to one lily pad to talk about the Jews in the Iberian Peninsula. A lot of the Jews were kicked out of Iberian Peninsula, and it was the Ashkenaz, or the European white Jews, that had to convert and so forth. But the Africans got kicked out and went into Lagos, was a stronghold. And a Jew is not a ethnic group of people, ethnic only by cultural, but not a race or a DNA, not no J1, J2 strand of DNA. And they were big slaveholders of that. And this whole terminology of race is misconstrued on a paradigm that's non-scientifically based on how to classify people, because how are we going to go through Africa with this diversity and say that person is this and that person is that, because Europeans will share the same genetic qualities as some of the darker individuals, or even we have darker individuals with white, blonde hair, and blue eyes. So I just want to say that that I think we have to use our words carefully in how we use old scientific terms as a paradigm to identify who we are or our outlooks, because those, again, are already flawed when we're trying to identify who we are, calling ourselves Black African American. And those are something that I was really wanted to say first and foremost.
Hey, man, let me just say, man, I appreciate the call. I appreciate you making the time to participate in today's topic. It's an important topic. Thank you so much, brother. And anytime, man, you know how I am, man. We could chop it up anytime. I appreciate you for reaching out, sharing your concerns, and then calling and then dropping some information. We appreciate that, man. Thank you so much for calling. Dr. G wanted to holler at you real quick. Sorry about that. G?
Oh. Yeah, and I appreciate not just what you said, but how you said it. I want to throw something out because what if blacks realized that they were once powerful as opposed to never powerful? And what if they could grow from that organically from the once powerful position? Because if you believe that you were never powerful, you get reduced to, it's pleasure-pain principle. I've never been powerful, never going to have anything. I may as well just do what makes me feel better for today. But
I think that's where you're going, Doc. I think it's great. I think it's a great point. But wait, hold on, bro. Hold on. And then I'm going to throw it to you.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to throw it to you. Hold on 1 second. Doc makes a great point. But I think sometimes, and we're starting to see it a little bit. I'm going to give you an example of seeing what I'm talking about. Popovich, the coach of the Spurs, is hella outspoken right now about white privilege, about injustice, about racism. He's hella outspoken, and he's using his platform to talk. I've always said, Doc, you make a great point. And people say, we don't need white people for this. You need white people in this dominant society to wake up and go, we fuck shit up. We got our hands on people in a way that prevents them from doing what the fuck is necessary for them to prosper.
Never gonna happen.
So when you start, and I always said, white people, we can't say
never.
Not in this
earth.
We can't say never going to happen because
the new earth that's coming. Yeah,
we can't say it's never going to happen because you see white people. There's certain white people stepping up saying, people in prominence.
Yeah,
there was always white people marching. There was always,
but I'm not talking about just marching. I'm talking about putting their platform in harm's way.
Oh,
now Popovich is a 5-time champ. What is it? 4-5-time champion coach.
You can't hurt him.
You can't fuck with him right now. And so he's stepping out. So when Doc makes that point, this is why Doc is on the show. He makes those points that become a lightning rod for some shit. It's easy to say, you get to a point where you just say, wow, I come to this knowledge that I was something before I was taught I was nothing.
Well,
but if you can have somebody get the fuck out of the way once you understand that, or at least see that shit is against you in this way.
But how can you understand it though when it's always being hidden from you? And that goes back to my point. It's all predicated on you not knowing who the hell you are.
Yes.
So I want to go back and expound on something he said about the history of the word more. So More goes back to also temore. and it was one of the names of Africa or Kemet. It meant the dark land.
Wait, stop. Say it again.
Tamure.
Is that where we get Tamara?
Could be.
Ta-ma-ra?
Yeah.
Ta is...
Oh, yeah.
Ta is the word ta in Kemet.
The word ta in Kemet.
Yep. You have ta-ma-ra. Ma's water.
And truth and...
Right.
Yeah.
Ra is sun. Yeah. Ta is earth. Ta-ma-ra. Earth, water, sun. Tamara. Tamare. Say it.
Tamure. So Tamure was also Egypt is called the dark Kemet, which meant the dark land.
Speak on it.
Tamure also means the dark land. It was called that way because the rich soil from when it was really fertile.
This is good shit,
and the Nile was really rocking around there. It had the fertile rich. So that's where the dark part of it came from. And then more was used as a term. It became like a title, but it was really more so used as a term to identify us around the world. We were a world empire, and everybody understood when they looked at us, oh, that's a Moor, and it became that. That's what we were called globally.
Hey, pay the tribute, pay the tax.
Yeah, and so when we rolled up, you had to pay a tribute. Like everybody knew who we were when we rolled up. That's where the Raiders come from. When we rolled up on the shore,
Buccaneers,
the
Saracen,
marauders, like midnight marauders. The Moors would roll up in the middle of the night on a shoreland. Like you would, if you had a coastal town, the Moors would roll up in the middle of the night. By morning, your whole town was gone.
I'm gonna need that.
Hey, we haven't talked about all the castles that the Moors built in Europe. We haven't talked about all the libraries and all the institutions.
You're talking about in Spain, but you're talking about in Europe. The castles in Europe are Moors. They were built by Moors.
Come on, man. I just look like this, baby.
Let me throw this out at you because we talked about this at one time before. Do you think that there is, if not a conspiracy or something, to keep blacks from realizing they have inherent power, because if they used it and mobilized it together, there's a belief that they would come and retaliate for the mistreatment that has been thrown upon them. But if we keep them fragmented,
I don't think it's a retaliation.
Hold on.
Let me finish that. But maybe there's a fear that given in our minds, in whites' minds, the way we've treated you, if you really galvanized your power, you'd have to come back at us. So we preemptively, unconsciously can protect ourselves by keeping you down.
Doc, how long you been on this show? It's been 4 years. You just figuring this out, Doc? When we come back, goddammit.
No, it is a fear of that.
We're missing a key point, Doc. We're missing a key point.
Yeah.
We're getting retribution back from the Pale Man. This is what our retribution is.
Yes,
because we
did it first.
Before.
We did it first.
See, the Pale Man used to be called Pa-Tamahu. That means live in filth. He could not get into Egypt.
How long? Period. Wait, how long was it Plato? Plato waited a long time to get into the mystery school. First off, the prerequisite was a 20-year wait.
But you got to understand.
But he waited, I think, 40 to get in.
The Caucasian Greek, if you want to call them that, the Pa-Tamahu man could not enter Egypt at all for century upon century.
Well,
period.
Can I touch on that for a sec?
Yes. Hey, brother, thanks for the call. We got to let you go, man. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you.
So when you had, ancient Africans, and you had, when Africans are born, we're born in many different ways. We're born in all different types of colors. So when the lighter of us were born, it was very hard for them to take that sun. So they migrated north, and so this was right before the last ice age. It was called the Worm,
Sounds like the
Wormian Ice Age.
Well, you'll hear. What's my man Ivan Van Sertima talk about the pink man out of Africa? Right. Say more.
Yes. Ivan Van Sertima. Also, you guys need to look up Sheikh Anta Diop. Sheikh Anta Diop is like
Sheikh
Anta, and he's one of the foremost anthropologists, physicists. I mean, they all follow his work today. So he broke down how after we migrated up north, you got the last ice age. It was called the Wormian Ice Age, and so it prevented us from coming back down into Africa. And so eventually, upon living in those cold areas, you got lighter and lighter. The nose gets thinner because it has to warm up the air.
So you believe in the environmental changes,
right? You had to live in the caves because it was so cold. Had to have to throw on clothes and all that stuff.
I don't necessarily believe in that one.
Yeah, me either.
And I'll tell you why. Because of the work that they've discovered from Neanderthal.
Yeah, we're different.
So, you got modern Homo sapien, and then you got Neanderthal.
Yes.
And if you look at the African, genetically, it's already been proven that there is no Neanderthal blood in Africans.
We're not descended from
And then the rest of the motherfuckers outside of that, I think there were humanoids outside of that.
Of course.
That modern human.
What you talking about? Who you talking about? Are you talking about Grimaldi?
No, I'm talking about Neanderthal. Now, Neanderthal, of course, is named after Neander Valley. Tal is valley. It's a German word. Neanderthal, Neander Valley. That's where they found those bones.
Yes.
So I think we are modern human, Homo sapien. But I think it was other kind of humanoids that we went and fucked.
But no, they were talking. We're talking about the last. You're talking about the last ice age. So when it came down and how they.
You're talking about the Toba explosion
and the Wormian ice age. After all of that melted, after the Wormian ice age, you got what's called the Jectinide period, where this is where they came back down and they started to intermingle with all the other. And so he was saying, they wouldn't let them back into Egypt and all that stuff back, but they, on the outskirts, they were intermingling with all the people on the outskirts, and that's how they. So intermingling. This is how you get, the descendants of the lighter and lighter, and this is how you get the modern Arab or Arab Egyptian person, what they call the sand.
Well, you just go ahead.
I get a little. I guess I don't want to say religious, but I get a little religious, I guess, at this point. Because I love the study of the Bible when it comes to this subject right here.
What the Bible has to say on it.
What the Bible has to say.
Well, go deeper. That's why you're here.
About this people called the Gentile, which a lot of black people mistakenly call themselves or assume that they're the Gentile. The Bible explains, if followed a certain way, it explains where color comes in after the floods. After Noah was drunk in his tent and his youngest son Ham, which means burnt black, looked at the nakedness of his father's body. But yet the Bible says Noah woke up and knew what was done to him. So there was an action. So anyway, when Noah awoke, he said, "Cursed be the Canaan, a servant you shall be under your brother until the end of your day," right?
Does it say cursed be to Canaan?
It says cursed be to
Canaan.
Cursed
be to the fourth seed
That's
of
Canaan. No,
not Canaan himself.
It's Canaan.
But his seed.
Canaan is the fourth unborn son of Ham.
There we go. I just want to be clear.
Yes. Canaan was an unborn child when Noah awoke and said, "Cursed be to Canaan." Now, the Bible doesn't give color immediately when it says cursed be to Canaan. It just tells you that he will suffer under his brother.
Leviticus 7:11 does that.
Yes, let's go. This is why I love you. And when you get to Leviticus, you start to get the conditions of this curse that came along with this land that Abraham was promised.
What was the definition of the curse? 7:11 and 11:7.
I give you this curse. I give you this land. God is telling Abraham, I give you this land as a possession, but I put a curse of leprosy in that land. I put a curse in that house.
And when they describe leprosy, go deeper.
When Noah put his hand in his bosom and
what
pulled it
that?
out,
What
his
happened
hand
to the
was
bosom?
leprous white, diseased, white as snow.
With every fine yellow hair. That's blonde.
Yes,
by the way.
So the Bible gives the definition of leprosy with the color snow white, white as snow, diseased, white as snow, over and over and over and over again. And it tells them, do not sleep with the Canaanite woman. Go to Samaria or Egypt
and
to
choose
find
a woman
your wife
of your own kind.
Do not mix your seed with the Canaanite woman, because that is a cursed seed. And he also says in Deuteronomy, enjoy the spoils of the land, but do not leave any of them living. And it names the Amorites, the Jebusites, all of them. It names all of the cursed seeds of Canaan and tells them to not leave them alive, because if you do, they will teach you their detestable ways and you will pray to their gods. Right? And wow, we are up under a perverted system with a people who have a limited amount of time of control based on elements and all other sorts of things. And the magic in black people not knowing and attaching to their ancestry is the key to the white man's power over the darker man.
As long as they have the information, though, they'll keep control. Information is power.
Information is the
So
power.
as long as they keep you thinking that you.
So watch this. So
as
watch
long as
this.
you're not thinking.
Right. Y'all hitting on something big. Y'all remember Jesse Williams?
Yep.
Just because we're magic doesn't mean we're not real.
Yes. It doesn't mean
Well,
we're
as
not real.
long as you lack knowledge of self,
You can't
you
perform
could be
magic.
magical all day in America and still be an illusion.
Yes.
What makes you real is self-knowledge.
Yes. Period.
So you can have the magic and not know the source from whence it originates, where it comes from,
Yes.
and you won't really know how to harness it
Right.
unless you know who you are.
We're
Because
all gods, but only those who know it will manifest that power.
Yes, but because there's so much that comes along with self-knowledge. With self-knowledge, you have to understand what protections that you have to have for self.
yes.
Your vibrational frequency. You have to now think a certain way now because you're responsible for your manifestations. So now you have to think correctly. Now you got to speak correctly because if you speak death, death will be your reality. It becomes now feeling good on purpose about the things that you want before you get them so that you can manifest those things. Once you get into knowing what life is and what self is, you can relate to the laws of the universe much better.
Wow. Listen, we got to take a quick break, but before we do, listen, if this show does not deserve a community tithe, get to my GoFundMe page. I'm sorry. It's just too much fire in this motherfucker. We don't deserve that. GoFundMe.com/Zoe Williams. Y'all got to make this thing happen. And Dr. G, before we go to break, hit that question of fear again
Great question.
as we go out. Tell them again.
The fear of, how that pulls people together? Or what,
No.
Which one
no.
about the?
No.
The fear of us learning who we are as black people.
Right. And that concerted effort to keep the quality of information
And the money
and the money and the resources go into that.
Well, I think
Fear of retribution.
I think there's a fear of retribution because down deep we know we've treated you poorly.
Yes.
And so we know that we deserve retribution, but we don't want you to find out that you actually deserve and are entitled to something from us that we don't want to give you.
Yes.
That's
You
big,
mentioned something about Popovich.
That's deep.
Well, you can't expect the owners of any professional teams to really care about the black community.
Yeah.
But coaches love their players, the good coaches.
Yeah.
Why not galvanize coaches, whether they're black or white? What is your responsibility? Maybe after the season ends, okay, the Super Bowl's over. What is your responsibility to the black community? You say you love your players. How can you love your players and not do anything to help the black community? Because people will listen to you, Bill Belichick, more than they'll listen to some of your black players.
And Bill Belichick, Bobby will tell you, Bill Belichick does shit for the community.
But listen, man.
Bill Belichick, Bobby
But to
Glanton
speak out
Smith
like
would tell you.
But to speak out like Popovich.
Popovich is out there right now speaking.
We miss a key point. In order to help a community, to help a people, that people has to have an acceptant knowledge of from whence they came. Your future lies hidden in your past. If you do not accept from which you came, you will not have a future.
And peep this,
It's not even acceptance. It's more so recognize.
Thank
You can't
you.
even recognize what you don't know no more.
Right.
But-
they tried to like when just like we did when we civilized them at one point, they tried to do the same thing by creating Prince Hall Masonry.
Yes.
And so this is what you
Which
have.
that I am.
Yeah, this is what you have that's going on right now. You have a
Yes.
lot of people, Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and Scottie Pippen, and got a lot of these people, Michael Jordan and all these cats who are Prince Hall Masons. But it was created to civilize brothers after slavery. So you got.
Well, that's not the story we get.
I know that's not the story. I know that's not the story.
Of course,
you
that's
get.
not the story.
I know that ain't the
get,
story you get. But this is why they wouldn't. That's why they wouldn't even give you your orders for a long.
Well, yeah, they would. Yes.
They wouldn't even.
Well, we were black.
Right.
We were black, and I mean that goes back to that fear factor. That goes back to the same thing that we're talking about is the knowledge-based fear.
Right.
Of course, they don't want black people to know that this masonry, this stepping off the left, is an ancient black Kemetic thing.
You see the pharaohs, you see the statues leading with the left foot. That's all us.
Come on, man.
So let me just say this, Steve, and then I'm gonna come right back
it's
to
on
you. No, because I want you to finish that. This is the shit that kill me.
It's right in your face.
This is the shit that kills me. You mean tell me Albert Pike,
yes,
the motherfucker who created the Ku Klux Klan, also created the Blue Lodge for black people? Just stop right there. Just smoke. Just roll that up and smoke that for a second.
Well, let me explain what the
what?
Let me explain to the listeners.
Please.
Let me explain to the listeners what the Blue Lodge is, so that people understand it. The basic fundamentals of masonry is the Blue Lodge. Your first 3 degrees is your Blue Lodge. You cannot get any other degrees in masonry unless you get the first 3 degrees, which is the Blue Lodge. That's what that is. The first 3 degrees is the Blue Lodge.
And the first 3 degrees, I have a book called A Bridge to Light. This is it's a Masonic temple book. Actually, goes all the way to the 33rd degree. The book only starts at the 4th degree. So the first 3 degrees, they don't even acknowledge them. It's the 4th degree on up to the 33rd, which is the honorary degree. And so you got the grand and the 33rd
That's like the
degree.
ancient Egyptian.
Right. But the 33rd, what he's called is the sovereign grand master. So this is when they understand freedom and government. So you're the sovereign when you reach that certain point as the 33rd, and you're able to move freely as well. 33 degrees is above a degree above freezing. So then you're able to move freely. Whereas anything below that, you're frozen. So that's how that
you stuck.
You're
That's
stuck.
real.
Anything below 30.
Anything below 33 degrees, you're stuck.
In that
Jesus died at 33. He was liberated after. I don't want to keep going.
There's a bunch of them. My daddy.
You couldn't enter the mystery schools until you were 40.
And then watch
40
this.
years old.
Watch this motherfucker. Zoe is a Mason. I don't know.
No,
I can't be a Mason.
he's above that.
I'm above that. I can't be a Mason. Masonry was established civilized, y'all.
Thank you.
But see, let me tell you something. The reason why I became a Mason, once I studied and understood the African origins of Freemasonry, that liberated me in my mind to not fall into a Caucasian sensibility of what I was getting into, because everything we do is a crumble off the table of the Caucasian. Ooh. That's just the way that it is. We let them take from our ancestors because we don't have a relationship or a recognition of the ancestors.
Wow.
So the Caucasian is smart enough to go back there and know that that's real. So that's why you see pyramids and step ziggurats on their buildings, paying homage to our ancestors when we think it's evil.
If you really want to know that, go to the George Washington Masonic Museum in Virginia. I went there a while back. And they take you on this tour, and there's a room in the Masonic Museum called the Grotto. It's the very bottom floor. Now, a while back, some Moors used to go on the tour, and they took pictures of it, and then they stopped taking that room on tour. So when I went, they took us everywhere, and then the Knights Templar room is at the very top. And as we're up there, and he was like, "Okay, we're at the last stop." I'm like, "Wait a minute." I said, "We're not going to the Grotto." And so he looked at me.
What you know about the Grotto?
Wait, he pulled me. He pulled me to the side. He looked at me. He said, "You a traveling man?" And then a homie of mine told me what to say right before I went into the museum. He said, "You a traveling man?" I said, "I'm a son of a widow." And then he said, he looked at me up and down, and then he looked at his watch. He said, "We usually don't put that on the tour anymore." He said, "Well, I guess we got a little time. We'll go down there.
For you, we'll make an exception."
For you, we'll make an exception. So we go down to the Grotto, and as soon as we step off the elevator, it's nothing but fezzes all down there in glass cases.
You took pictures of that?
Yeah, I did. I got all that shit.
That's awesome.
Because when I went down there, it was only 3 black people there. me, my uncle, and another dude. And so he's basically sticking to me because he forgot the tour. He just let everybody roam free. And so he was taking me on a personal tour. He was like, yo, you know what this is? You know what that is? He was like, it was the two pillars, Boaz and what's the other pillar? I forgot the other pillar. Josh and Boaz. And they had the Arabic writing on them. And right above it, it was a throne in the middle, and it had an anagram called Move Per at the top. And so he decided to test me immediately right on the spot. He said, "What does that mean?" Because it was another Christian. It was another
See
Christian
if I got
pastor
the wrong
there.
person
and
down here.
And so he said, "Tell him what that mean." And he turned around and he did like he was going, like I was going to fuck up. I said, "Yeah, it means the mystical order of the veiled prophets of the enchanted realm." He said, and then when I said that, he forgot about everybody else. He said, "You know what? You got camera, right?" He said, "Take a picture." He said, "Take out the camera. Start taking pictures." Now you good. Yeah, I'm just snapping pictures.
Hey, so watch this. What about the Book of Boomy? Okay, I ain't gonna start.
They don't
Let me
know
just be
about
quiet
the Book of
about
Boomy.
that. Listen, I'm not a Mason. I don't have to be.
No.
I got that information. I got that light. I got that illumination. I don't need it.
I had the light before I became a Mason.
I know. You've been studying this shit.
Teddy Roosevelt Shriner.
Let's do this real quick. We got a caller, a sister from California, Ramina. Welcome to the Voice of Reason, ZOWHAT show. What's happening? Ramina. Make sure I got Ramina on the line, man. She probably left.
She fell off.
Nah, I'm going to give her one more chance. Ramina.
Are you there?
Are you there, Ramina? Because the name sounds so delicious.
Womp, womp, womp.
All right, we're out. Ooh. Listen, I'm going to take a quick break, and when we come back, the final thought. Man, this show got heated, but I'm going to try to summarize everything that is important. And listen, we got to continue. I think we should do another one of these and really drill down.
We need to
just really drill down. So we'll be back at 2.2. We're going to come back. DJ Julian Ramirez, and I'm going to say this again, that GoFundMe page, man, y'all really got to help me reach this goal. I'm trying to get $25,000 for the month of February. We're a weekend. We got about $600. We got to get active. All right. GoFundMe.com/Zoe Williams. We'll be back in 2.2. Final thought. Yo, Zoe Williams, the ZOWHAT Morning Show, Dash Radio, Hot Button Radio. You can't find content like this anywhere. Listen, final thought. I keep saying this. I keep saying it. And I'm going to keep saying it. I don't give a damn. I don't care who I offend. If your knowledge of who you are originated outside of your people, you're a servant. The real prison is intellectual incarceration, information incarceration. If I'm giving you subpar tools with which to build your reality, I control you. You got to come to me for the lumber you use to build your reality. So think of that metaphorically and think of it intellectually. If I always downgrade the quality of thought you use to build your reality, you're not going to be able to live in the type of reality that you're capable of. The word govern, that is only applicable to those who are incapable of governing themselves. What is masonry really? We already talked about operative masonry versus speculative masonry. An operative mason is somebody who knows how to use brick and mortar to build structurally sound buildings. Now, how do you build a structurally sound self? Ooh, that's what masonry is about. So guess what? White people took it and made it what they wanted to be. They made it evil. When I say evil, this is what I mean by evil. They raped the world with it. They used it to rape the world. They used it to put the world under their foot. That's what they use masonry for. Now, masonry was our culture, how we lived. We didn't have to call it masonry. It's just how we lived. Somebody came along later on and just said, oh, this is masonry. Listen, if you don't know what the word population means, the word population from the Latin populoso, the masses of unlearned animals. those who need to be controlled and governed because they lack the high level of information that would free them internally. So guess what? We get to use them as a social battery. We get to plug into them. They plug into us in a dependent fashion, and we control them and live off of them. And now we have a tier of the class versus the classless. You see what I'm saying? They did it to your religion. King James, 1611 AD. He said, let me get that Bible from the Vulgate and the Greek. The Vulgate, Latin word, vulgar, vulgus. It means unlearned. It means dumb. The Celestine Prophecy, the guy who wrote that book, he'll tell you in his Conversations with God book, he said you can tell the quality of a culture based off of what entertains them. Oh my God, I know you dumb because you've been programmed and socialized to be dumb. So guess what? We as blacks used to have a culture that ran the world. So now we trying to figure out who the fuck we supposed to be after we've been pimped, after we've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, reprogrammed. So I try to do a show like this so I can say, hey, this is where you start studying. This is where you start looking. What does that mean? Does that mean your situation or your circumstance will change? Possibly. 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 But this is what I want you to know. When we lived this way, we were together. Right? We were together. Watch this. Layman, he who is not of the cloth, unlearned, right? Who started that? Oh, the Egyptian priests. You don't get to get this information. We're the only ones who can read. We're the only ones who write in hieroglyphics. Do you understand? You motherfucking right, I'ma send a bunch of divergent narratives and stories and lies and truth and everything at your ass so you can stay off square. So you don't know what the fuck is going on. I'm keep you confused because I would hate to see you come together on some real shit. I don't have any validity in your life if you come into the knowledge of yourself. Look at what the devil worshipers, one of their shits, one of their beliefs. You can't be dumb to be a devil worshiper. That's one of their rules. It's a sin to be stupid. It's a sin to be unintelligent. Who was Anton LaVey actually emulating? He was emulating Aleister Crowley. Who the fuck was Aleister Crowley studying? Egyptology. He met somebody in the pyramid, some spirit. And then he wrote the Liber Al Liber, or whatever the book was. Come on. They study in Egypt, and what they did was they said, let's make all things Egypt, which is the science we want, evil. Wait a minute. Light, Lucifer, light bearer, Albert Pike, we're Luciferian. We study the light. No, we study the light, which is illuminated, which is knowledge. But we gonna make it the devil, so in turn, we're making intelligence evil. We're gonna take intelligence and give you belief. But guess what? Guess what? Belief is as powerful as intelligence. Watch this. Whatever I get you to believe, you create. Belief is the manifestation process of intelligence. But if I downgrade your motherfucking intelligence, you still gonna believe and build a reality from that belief. Oh, but if I fuck around and give you the wonder twin power of high level intelligence, light, and belief, what kind of reality you gonna build then? One that I can't govern? So we gonna make knowledge evil. That's why the Egyptians in the Bible are the bad guys. Oh, I could keep going. And it's an Egyptian book. Oh my God, man. I don't know, man. I don't know. Turn their mics on. I'm Zoe Williams.
Yes.
That's my final thought. It's just a little piece. I could go on.
It's really awesome.
I could go on.
You don't remember Mumra, ancient spirits of evil. He immediately, that's his incantation right off the bat. He's in the middle of the pyramids, and he got all this.
Evil has nothing to do with it.
It ain't got shit to do with it. But this is our truth, and I'm gonna make your truth evil. And I'm gonna give you the dirty hippie white boy Jesus version.
Buy it.
I'm gonna give you Pal Gasol, Cesare Borgia, while we over here
Pal
studying
Gasol.
your shit. Yeah.
While we making sure we physically pay homage to the ancestors physically, we're gonna have you in belief.
Right.
Said Pal Gasol.
We gonna do your shit and make it evil. Where can they find you, Kev?
Man, yeah. Everybody, please go and support that Cop Stop Guardian. We are trying to stop people from getting killed at these traffic stops. So go to GoFundMe/Cop Stop Guardian. Knock it up, hit it up today, please. We need your help.
Steve.
Yes, you can find me. Please follow me on Instagram at Stephen Russell Harts. That's HARTS. Facebook, Stephen Russell Harts. Also follow me on my radio show, The Heart of R&B, every day on the WZBR, the base of Boston.
Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Hey, GoFundMe.com/Zoe Williams. Don't play me. We got to make a strong move today. Don't play me. Let's do at least 5,000 today.
There you go.
There's too many people listening right now. We could do $10,000 today. There's too many fucking people listening. Go there right now. GoFundMe.com/Zoe Williams. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted.
Oh, yeah.
Listen.
Status class is realnoggins.com. Forgot that.
All right. Appreciate everybody. We'll see you tonight on The Voice of Reason here. Hot Button Radio -Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in. Deuces.
Peace.
Peace.